Well, I realize that getting information is one of your most difficult jobs. Now, I am in what might be called a position of confidence in here. I hear many things. Things that could be helpful to you.
I see. I gather you'd expect something in return. Perhaps you should take a seat. We'll get to know each other better.
I think that's an excellent idea.
All right, Mrs. Peterson, you arranged this meeting. You've got something to say, you better say it.
It concerns the McNally mob.
Go on.
I have information. Details of unsolved crimes, who's involved. Featuring one Mr. Fitzwater.
Fitzwater, eh?
And it's good information. Best you can buy.
Who said anything about buying?
I did. But not for money. I'm planning an appeal against my sentence. You're going to find me a witness.
I see. This witness I'm going to find does exist, I take it.
He will when you find him. Getting someone to play the part shouldn't be difficult.
You are aware of the risk involved falsifying a witness, of course.
Of course. But it is worth your while. Closing the book on Fitzwater ought to be worth 3 promotions at least.
Oh, yes, at least. Okay, but I want proof. And I want information up front, and I want it now.
Later. You get my witness, then we'll talk.
I'm afraid the deal's off, Mrs. Peterson.
All right, but not about Fitzwater. I believe you've been questioning Sandy Edwards.
Yes?
I can tell you where she dumped Megan Arnott's body.
Go on.
There's a quarry in Cheltenham. I think it's used as a rubbish tip. That's where you'll find her.
Any more?
Sure. I could go on and on. Now, do I get my witness?
You get your witness.
Sorry, Inspector. The 15 minutes is up and we're running behind. Have you finished?
Oh, yes, we've finished.
You're defending Lizzie.
That's right.
The arson charge. She got much chance?
Either way, I can't tell you. But I can say a solicitor has a much rosier future if he wins cases.
Well, then we wish you the rosiest of futures, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, thank you.
You're not here to gossip, Bryant. If you've finished your work, I'll find some more for you to do.
Yes, Mrs. Bell.
I take it your interview with Peterson was satisfactory?
Well, police work's never satisfactory, Mrs. Powell.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, you could make sure she doesn't get away. I'll be wanting to see her again.
I want that filing finished by the time I'm back. Mr. Taylor, if you're quite ready, I'll take you to the interview room. Thank you, Mrs. Barfield. 15 minutes.
And not a second longer. That one should be in a concentration camp. I reckon she rather fancy herself in jack boots.
We haven't much time, Mrs. Birdsworth. We should get on with it.
Right you are, Mr. Taylor.
Now, it seems, given the facts as I understand them, our defence should be fairly straightforward. Though we have one major stumbling block. Mrs. Powell is the prosecution's chief witness, an eyewitness.
Oh, I don't see that could be any problem.
How do you mean?
Well, a person's eyesight can go on them at any time, let alone their memory. I mean, they can go just like that.
Hey! Hey! Is there anyone out there?
What's all this?
I want to see Doreen.
Well, shouting will get you nowhere.
Oh, whisper if you like. I'll even speak in a funny accent, but I've got to see her because I've got to talk to her.
Well, what's it about?
She's supposed to be the donor from a transplant. Now, either she is or she isn't, but I've got to know.
Well, leave it with me. I'll see what I can do.
That's not good enough. Hell, this is my life. Look, and I'm worried about it.
It's not that easy, Smith, what with these new security arrangements and everything.
I don't give a damn about that. Look, what am I going to do? Beg?
Now, look, don't upset yourself. I'll do what I can.
Dear Jack, things are okay at the sweatshop, but keep the deliveries up. My girls need the bread. And I wouldn't like to see you go short either. Favour time. We need a couple of keys. Take the carbon blanks to Weasel, he'll know what to do. Got a few girls for you who want to work the parlour, so things are looking sweet. Send keys as soon as you can. Regards, Sandy.
How'd it go?
Well, you tell me, mate. Either I'm a grade A mug or that Kate Peterson's going to turn out to be a bloody gold mine.
What did she say?
Well, she's willing to spill her guts on the whole McNally operation, including Fitzwater. There's only one thing first. Before she talks, we've got to find a defence witness for her case.
I thought you hated making deals with crims.
I'm a hypocrite, Ernie, you know that. Besides, if it means getting bigger crims, it's worth the effort. Now, look, I want her checked out, mate. Where she's been, what she's done, who, with, everything.
The works.
The works, seeing as you volunteered. And keep it quiet, will you? I don't want to get back to her. You know, there's something about that lovely Kate Peterson that doesn't ring true.
She is in for murder.
Yeah, crime of passion, I think she calls it. Very French, or something more interesting. I reckon the more we dig, the more we're going to find.
One last dumb question. This witness for her defence. Where are you going to get him?
You were right, Ernie. That was a dumb question.
Oh, boy, this is going to be fiddly. You sure you want in?
Sure, why not? I'm as fed up as everyone else. If it helps slow down the wheels of bureaucracy, then let me at it.
Atta girl. Long live the revolution.
Yeah.
Look, I know I'm a bit thick, but explain it to me again. How is faking this roster going to hurt the screws?
Well, Fletch will make one roster and we'll make another. Only our times aren't going to be anything like the same. They're going to be all over the place.
Shh. That's all right.
Oh, I think Rembrandt's nearly finished, aren't you?
Yep. Fletcher's signature. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Quick, someone's coming. Oh, it's only Lizzie. I'm sorry.
What's the matter? Somebody dying here or something?
Oh, I'll tell you what, my pacemaker nearly stopped. I'll have to get new batteries.
Oh, you nearly scared us half to death, Lizzie.
Why, what you doing?
We're faking a roster, trying to send the screws up the wall.
Oh, that's a good idea. I hope I'm here to see it happen.
Oh, yeah. You saw your solicitor this morning.
Yeah, he's real good too. He reckons without an eyewitness, I'm in like Flynn.
Well, I wouldn't count my chickens, Lizzie.
Why, what do you mean?
That letter we were using as blackmail, it's gone.
Gone? But who'd take it? Nobody'd want it but Powell. God. If she's got it, we haven't got anything on her. She'll say that she saw me with it. Bottle of Kira.
I'm sorry, Lizzie.
Come on, Lizzie, cheer up, love. You don't know that Pal's got that letter for sure.
Jude's right. Besides, worrying about things never did anyone any good. Hey, did I ever tell you the story about the Irish flasher? He got that excited, he put his trench coat on back to front.
This isn't a nightclub, Edwards.
Isn't it? Oh, I've come to the wrong place.
Hey, maybe she's the floor show, huh? Boom, boom, Pal. The exotic stripper, huh?
I'd pay to see her. I want my money back.
If you don't all shut up, you'll lose your privileges for the next week.
You been writing any letters lately?
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Huh? Don't you wash your ears out?
All right, that's it. You're coming to see Mrs. Davidson.
There are other ways of handling this.
Keep out of this, Peterson.
I said other ways. You don't have to manhandle people. Least of all, someone who can't fight back.
If you don't watch it, you'll be the one in trouble.
That's preferable to seeing you pick on Lizzie.
Well, that's it. You're going to solitary. Wait over there. You can stay here. And if any of you others have suicidal tendencies, perhaps the fact that there's no recreation period after dinner will make you think again. Come on, Peterson.
Well, you really gave her what for, Lizzie. Yeah. Didn't do us much good. Only got Kate into trouble.
I just didn't think she had that in her.
I know, she really gave it to Po-Face, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, that's what we're all going to do. If they're going to treat us like monkeys, maybe it's about time we started acting like them.
You pushed too far, Peterson. What were you trying to do? Force me to put you in here?
I don't mind solitary.
Oh, you're stretching one favour a hell of a long way.
I wanted to talk to you. It seemed the only way.
I wouldn't have thought you had anything more to say. Unless, of course, you're stupid enough to blackmail me.
I have no intention of blackmailing anyone. Helping's a different story.
Helping. Now I've heard everything.
It's a friendly gesture, still, if you're not interested.
You know damn well I'm interested.
I thought so. Especially when you realize what a good light this will put you in with the governor. Though it won't make Mrs. Morris look too good.
What about Mrs. Morris?
You know, you're right. There is a string attached, but only one.
And what is that?
My friend, the inspector, or should I call him my legal advisor, I'd like to see him again, unsupervised.
I'll see what can be arranged. Now tell me about Mrs. Morris.
Well, it seems she wasn't a very good parole officer.
In what way?
Well, when Doreen escaped from the attendance center, Mrs. Morris not only aided but abetted the escapee and her boyfriend. They'd have been found within hours if Mrs. Morris had done her job properly.
Oh, what the hell's going on here? I'm supposed to be in reception, not on bloody laundry duty.
You'll all be taken to the laundry, and then we will escort you to reception.
Yeah, just what I always wanted, a guided tour.
What about me? I'm supposed to be on remand, aren't I?
Yeah, Lizzie's right. She doesn't have to work.
But Lizzie, you asked to work.
Well, I changed my mind, and that's a woman's prerogative, isn't it? And I'm a woman, aren't I?
You stick up for your rights, Lizzie.
Victimisation, that's what I call it, Mrs. Barry. Victimisation.
Yeah, locked gates, censored mail. This place never used to be like that.
For heaven's sakes, everybody, be quiet.
What are you going to do about Lizzie and Judy?
As I tried to explain, we will go to the laundry where Lizzie can twiddle her thumbs, if that suits her, and then I'll take Bryant to reception. Now, are there any other objections?
No, but I've forgotten how to twiddle me thumbs.
Joe, sorry. Would you mind going to the hospital with Joyce Barry? Smith wants to see Burns. Thanks. May I speak to Mr. Douglas, please? Yes, Mr. Douglas, Head of Corrective Services. Thank you.
Well, I really appreciate this, Wendy. I can use the practice.
Oh, don't thank me. There's always plenty of typing to do, and filing. I'm glad of the help.
Yeah, well, if ever I can help you, you just whistle, huh?
Hi, Bea.
Oh, hi. Go sit down.
How's it all going?
Terrific. As long as I don't breathe.
Well, everybody's real confident that you're going to be out of here in no time. I mean, there must be hundreds of people around with our sort of kidney. It's just a matter of finding them, that's all.
So why would they have to do that? And they've already found you.
Oh, well, in case I get crook or the doctors find out that they were wrong about me.
Or if you change your mind. That's what you're trying to say, isn't it?
Don't hate me, Bea. It's not because I don't love you. Because I do. You know that. It's just I haven't got the guts to go through with it. It's too big, Bea, and I'm scared of it. I'm not real proud of myself either. And, I know you said that we'd always be mates. But I can't see how we can be now. You must really hate me, Bea.
I just wish you'd said no right from the start.
Yeah, I know. That would have been better, I know that. But just everything happened so fast, I couldn't think straight. Please don't hate me, Bea.
Stupid. We are mates. Look, bugger off, huh? I've got some thinking to do.
Thanks, Bea.
Fags, Vicky's, coffee. Is that right? Sandy? Chewy? Coffee? Chocolate? And Vicky's. Is that right?
Wrong. What about the fags?
Oh, one packet
Carton of.
One carton. Shouldn't smoke anyway. It's bad for your health.
Hey, Sandy, quick, take a look at this.
Hey, Jude, I'm just writing out the list of the goodies. What do you want?
I don't have time. I was supposed to be at the loo. What do you think?
It's fantastic. He's going to have them really running around. It's good. Hey, Brian, what are you doing there? You're supposed to be in reception.
I was just having a chat to me mates. I'm going to do the loo.
Well, off you go. You know you're not supposed to be here.
Hey, Dawn, what's the matter, love?
I'm gutless, that's what the matter is. I've just let Bea down real badly.
Told her that. She'll forgive you. Just raising up her hopes and then disappointing her. Here, have a good blow, love.
She really needed me just now. And I've just left her there all on her own.
Something will come up. She'll be okay.
No, she won't. She's going to die if she doesn't get that transplant.
And if you weren't around, she'd be in the same boat. Now, come on, moping about it's not going to do anyone any good. What say you give us a hand stirring the screws up?
Yeah.
Don't let anyone else see them.
Heavens. It isn't even my birthday.
Solitary confinement can be a bit dull. I thought you might enjoy them.
If I give you some more interesting trivia.
I like trivia.
Well, your spot cell search is a waste of time. You won't find anything.
Why's that?
They're not stupid. In fact, with Sandy in command, they're really quite resourceful. You keep at them, they'll find other ways.
You'd suggest body searches then?
It's worth a try. Oh, and I'd definitely have a closer look at Lizzie's laundry trolley, especially on Thursday afternoons.
Right. I might just do that.
And for appearances' sake, I think you'd better leave me in here for a while.
If that's what you want, I'll bring you a radio. It'll help pass the time.
Don't make me too comfortable. I might decide to stay.
Sorry about that. I think my fingers are a bit rusty.
Oh, never mind. Half a break's better than nothing.
Right. Almost knock-off time. My stomach could have told you that by all the rumbling. If they don't send an escort for me soon, I'm going to starve to death.
Bitch. I'd love to square it with her.
Shut up, Burns. I'm sure your friends don't want to listen to you while they're trying to eat.
About time, I can tell you.
You hurry, you'll get something.
Get a serving, be quick about it. Dinner's almost over.
Come on, Mrs. Powell. It's not my fault that I was stuck in reception while everybody forgot about me.
3 minutes.
3 minutes? You couldn't feed a sparrow in that time.
Take your time, Jude. No one's leaving till you're finished.
Peterson's already in solitary. Do you want to join her?
Not particularly. But I don't want Judy to get indigestion either.
Keep it up, Edwards. Your time's coming.
Yeah. So's Christmas. Oh, which reminds me, I better start thinking about Christmas cards.
I'm warning you, Edwards.
Bloody nuisance. Oh, I hate writing letters. So what I usually do, I usually make about 5 copies of the one. Saves me a lot of trouble.
What's that supposed to be?
Oh, nothing. Just making polite conversation.
10 minutes, then get them out of here.
Right.
Oh,
Relax.
just answer the question. Could that letter be a forgery?
Maybe.
Bugger it.
But I doubt it. Sandy's conning you. You shouldn't be so gullible.
You couldn't be mistaken.
Look, I know Sandy. She fed you bait and you jumped on the hook.
Okay, well, it's the last time she cons me. I warned her a time was coming.
Fine, do your worst. But I'm telling you now, it's very short-sighted.
What?
Logic. You take Sandy out of the action, there'll be less planned. I'll hear less. You'll wind up with less. It's called a vicious circle. Now, if you want that promotion as much as I think you do, you need schemes in operation.
All right. I'll leave her alone, but only till I've got what I want. Then you'll see what can really happen in this place.
Suppose I've got to get used to this rotten place now that I'm staying.
Lizzie, I'm sorry. I don't know how Powell found that letter.
It doesn't matter much. The damage is done. We know she's got it. She did everything but show it to us.
What really grates is how she found it. How the hell did she know where to look?
Maybe it's fate. Maybe I'm meant to finish my days up here. It's not too bad. I've got all my mates. I can watch telly whenever I want to. There are a lot of people my age who are not half as lucky.
That kind of talk sounds like we're giving up. Just because we haven't got the letter doesn't mean we can't think of another way to shut Powell up.
How?
I don't know, I'm just thinking about it.
Oh, you're just trying to cheer me up.
No. What I mean is there's always a way to buck the system. Always. Well, you should know that.
Yeah. That's why we're all in here.
How long are you going to keep Peterson in solitary?
As long as it takes to teach her some respect for officers. She has to learn who's in charge here.
Well, going by this, it won't be us. Not tomorrow, anyway. Jim's rostered us both off.
Well, there's got to be a mistake. We're short-staffed as it is.
Well, I'm not complaining. I've been working double shifts most of this week.
Yes, but why alter the roster at such short notice?
Like I said, I'm not complaining. Good night.
Bloody hell.
The Governor will see you soon, Mr. Faulkner.
Steve.
Steve. Anyway, she's on her way.
Oh, no worries. I'll just stand here and admire the view.
Mr. Faulkner.
Mrs. Davidson?
How do you do? Thought I'd better meet you. Can't have you getting lost on your first day. We can talk in my office. Julie, if anyone else arrives for work, let me know. And would you tell Mrs. Morris I'd like to see her, please?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
This way, Mr. Faulkner. Normally, a new officer would get a much larger welcoming committee. But this morning, the most extraordinary thing has happened. Almost half the staff hasn't arrived.
Excuse me, did you say half the staff?
Yes, I know. I find it hard to believe myself. But luckily, Mrs. Morris is here, and she'll be able to show you around Wentworth.
Well, all right, but isn't there anything I can do?
Oh, don't worry. There'll be plenty for you to do. Unfortunately, there's just one slight catch. Mrs. Morris will have to escort the women to the showers first, and you will have to accompany her. Then she'll be able to show you the rest of Wentworth. You know, I just can't understand it. According to this, just about everybody should be here by now. Ah, Meg Morris, Steve Faulkner. Mr. Faulkner has just been assigned to Wentworth.
Hello, you could have chosen a better day to start.
Yeah, so it seems.
Mr. Faulkner will help you escort the women to the showers, and then if you have time, perhaps you could give him a quick tour.
Of course.
In the meantime, I shall try to get to the bottom of this.
Lead me to your showers.
Adam and Eve unarrived and hold the palm trees.
What?
Short order talk. It means eggs on toast, no bacon.
Oh, now I know where you used to work.
Shut up and eat your breakfast.
Oh, dear.
Here.
Are you supposed to be at work?
Oh, very funny.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, come on, Jim. I've got the morning off. It was you who changed the roster.
Who told you that?
No one. I just assumed it was you.
I haven't changed the rosters.
Go away.
Aren't you going to answer it?
Why? It's only a wrong number.
How do you know?
Because anything that distracts me from you has to be a wrong number. Now, come on, eat your breakfast.
No, I can't stand it. Please, answer it for my sake.
Killjoy.
Ow.
Janet Conway. Oh, yes, Mrs. Davidson. Well, no, I'm rostered off this morning. I read it on the roster last night. Yes, Mrs. Davidson. Oh, 20 minutes or sooner. Yes, Mrs. Davidson. One word out of you and you will have literally egg all over your face.
Well, I did try to warn you.
Yeah, well, it seems I'm in very good company. It appears that nobody has turned up for work.
Come on, you people, now get moving. Look at you, bunch of sweet girls.
If you don't face the front, you'll all end up with whiplash. Oh, kinky. I'm into everything like that.
Well, I certainly don't know what you mean, I'm sure.
Come on. You've had your fun. Now into the showers. There are others waiting.
Are you going to stay around? I could use a back rub.
What's this? Is she turning kinky or something?
I said my back.
Hurry up.
No, all right.
Whoa. Hey! Edwards! That isn't funny. You should have waited till the male officer had gone.
That's all right, Mrs. Morris. I come from a big family. Besides, you did say hurry, didn't you, Jude?
Yes, that's right.
I think you've seen enough of the shower block. Well. Looks like the senior around here is certainly looking up.
Yes.
So really, all I'm trying to say is I don't think male officers should be put on shower escorts.
Yes, well, that does seem rather obvious, I admit, but you must agree this morning was a rather unusual circumstance.
Still no explanation for the absenteeism?
Apart from human error, no. Confusion with the roster seems to be the major excuse.
Excuse me for asking, but why all this sort of panic clearing up?
Well, I had a call from the department about 10 minutes ago. It appears that Ted Douglas is about to descend on us.
I see.
And frankly, the confusion with the roster hasn't helped one iota.
Well, is there anything I can do?
Well, yes, you could. You could check all the rosters. That seems to be where the problem first started.
Right, as soon as I can.
Thank you. Good luck.
bell and tell everybody.
Oh, sorry. When are you going to use them?
Oh, I reckon tonight's as good a time as any. But the keys aren't much good on their own. This is where being a girl guide comes in handy. Okay, get us some matches and some scissors, all right?
Okay. Hey, Beth, toss us your matches. Come on. Scissors.
There you go. Now, you get the tobacco out of this like that, okay?
What for?
Don't ask questions.
Well, what the hell are we doing anyway?
If you shut up a minute, you might learn something.
I've heard of funny cigarettes, but this is ridiculous.
This is a funny cigarette, all right, but it's not for human consumption. This one's for the screws.
What are you going to do? Ask them to have a cigarette with you?
Well, they reckon smoking's a health hazard. I might just prove it to them.
A hernia.
Can't afford to slow down. Wendy left me a ton of work from yesterday.
Oh, yeah, well, she was a bit snowed under. Look, is there anything else I can do to help you? I finished the filing. What about the visitor's book?
Thanks. You know what to do? Just day and date at the top of the page.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing? That's the visitor's book. You're not supposed to be looking at that.
Well, I'm just...
And where's the supervising officer?
Well, there isn't one. We're a bit understaffed.
Judy isn't supervising here, Mr. Douglas.
Is that a fact? Would you tell the governor I'm here, please? You wait over there.
But I was...
Over there. Oh, at last. I was beginning to think this place is run by the ladies' auxiliary.
Well, there is an explanation, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, there always is. Now, I'd like to see Mrs. Davidson, if that wouldn't be too much trouble.
I'll just check the duty roster.
No, Mrs. Morris, now, if you don't mind.
As you wish.
Should I sign the book first, or have we done away with that as well? Would you see that this book is headed correctly? There's no date.
Oh, brother. You better get your work finished before he gets back. I'll work on the book, huh?
Right, thanks.
Directives are being given and the department expects them to be carried through. Unless your staff have to be spoon-fed, if they're ever here, that is.
That is hardly fair, Mr. Douglas. Until I have checked the rosters thoroughly, I cannot give you a reasonable explanation.
Well, you've got them in front of you. Have a look. It's my guess they've decided to sleep in.
As I said, until I have investigated...
Look, I am not going to argue. This place is a shambles. I never know what's going to happen next. Now what?
That is the fire alarm, Mr. Douglas. Now, if you will excuse me... Yes, emergency. Could you give me the fire brigade, please?
Here, hold it.
What's that?
Could a fire start in there?
Nothing had surprised me in this place. Get this mess cleaned up. And then I want a meeting of all senior staff in your office. Immediately.
Very well.
That fire was in the staff room. Now tell me, could a prisoner get in there?
It's impossible unless they walk through one of the security gates.
Well, from what I've seen this morning, it wouldn't surprise me if it was left wide open.
Mr. Douglas, I resent you taking one isolated incident and applying it to the prison in general.
Isolated? Ah, Mr. Fletcher, you shouldn't have hurried in. It's only 10:45. Pity you weren't here earlier. You missed all the firework display.
With all due respects, Mr. Douglas, I wasn't rostered on until mid-afternoon.
All right, you made up those rosters. You tell me. Who do you think's responsible for this fiasco?
I'm afraid we have another problem. That was the gatehouse. Apparently there are 3 fire trucks outside.
Fire trucks?
Oh, of course you wouldn't know. We've had a very busy morning. The staff room caught fire. Pity he wasn't left a little longer, really. The whole prison might have burnt to the ground.
Mr. Douglas!
Would somebody please explain?
One of the lockers caught fire in the staff room.
How could a locker catch fire? Yes, how indeed, especially when all the security gates are supposed to be locked at all times.
What are you implying?
From what I've seen today, who's to say it wasn't staff negligence?
Mr. Douglas, it could have been an accident. Accidents do happen in prison.
Only because prisoners are left unsupervised and make them happen. All right, well, the picnic's over. This place is going to be tightened up.
We are listening, Mr. Douglas.
My plan is to control the women from within their own ranks. Internal harmony. In order to do that, I've arranged the transfer of one of the women from Barnhurst.
Do you think that'll be adding to our problems?
Not the way I see it. I'm sure it's the only answer.
And who is this miracle worker going to be?
Now, she's no stranger to Wentworth. I think you know her. Mari Winter.
Mari Winter? Well, I hardly...
The matter is closed. She arrives this morning. It's obvious your staff can't control the women. Let's see if she can.
Well, I've seen happier faces than that.
Not in here, you haven't. Not unless they were getting out.
Well, what are you staring at?
Nothing. Big fat nothing. I just want to get this bed, this room, this whole crummy prison.
Look, if you want to feel sorry for yourself, that's fine by me. But personally, I think you're being a little bit ungrateful. There are a lot of people in here working very hard for you, Bea.
I didn't ask for a lecture.
I'm not giving one. There are other people with problems too, you know.
Yeah. And I'm the only one who's dying.
Miss Conway, the governor would like to see you. Straight away, if you can.
Well, who's a pretty boy, then?
None of your business.
Miss Conway, you were rostered on duty this morning, and yet you have only just recently arrived. Do you have a reason?
Well, yes, as I explained to you on the phone this morning, I didn't think I was expected until this afternoon. Now, I checked the rosters last night on the way home.
I asked Mrs. Morris to collect the rosters from the staff room, reception, and this is my own copy.
Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Davidson. These aren't the rosters I saw last night.
Anyone can make a mistake, but I do not have the time nor the energy for people who persist in covering up. I expect a vast improvement in your performance in general, especially at a time when we are tightening up security. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, but I wasn't making excuses. Now, how do you explain the other officers who didn't arrive this morning?
I do not have to explain it. Admittedly, you were not the only one, but there is the proof on the desk.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
We will continue this conversation later when I have interviewed the rest of the staff. In the meantime, report to reception and induct the new prisoner. I hope this is something you can get right.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but your conduct as a parole officer has been brought into question.
My conduct?
That's right.
I wasn't aware that my work in that area was under investigation.
I'm afraid so. I know I have to draw your attention to some rather startling allegations.
Such as?
A mishandling of a case involving a Wentworth escapee.
That matter is fully documented in my reports.
I've read those reports. They're grossly inadequate.
The reports contained everything I thought relevant to the department.
Everything is relevant, Mrs. Morris. Every little detail must be included, and you know it.
Parolees and prisoners are entitled to my discretion.
Oh, you're sailing very close to the wind. You keep on with this attitude, you'll regret it.
Look, I'm very busy. If you've got nothing more to say...
Only that I regard it a very great pity that you have such little regard for your career, which up till now has held great promise.
That's right. Sign me a bit of paper.
Face the front, Winter.
Then march me off to the shower. Matter of fact, I feel like a nice hot shower.
That's enough.
Listen, there's something you're going to have to learn. You want respect from me, you're going to have to earn it.
Like maybe I'd like to see a bit coming my way. I know this prison probably better than anyone. You just remember that and you might be okay.
You haven't said a word since that interview with Douglas. Can't have been that bad.
It was that bad.
I don't know why he picked on you. At least you turned up for work on time.
It was my dealings as a parole officer. That's why he picked on me.
What's that got to do with it?
Good question.
You know, it's time someone brought Douglas down to size. If we ever needed a reason, this Mari Winter transfer has to be the dumbest idea of all time.
Yeah, having met the lady, I agree. That's asking for trouble.
Have you seen her record? Sending a criminal of her expertise in here to pacify the women is about as intelligent as trying to douse that locker with a bucket of petrol.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if the prisoners didn't start that fire, who did?
Must admit, it's got me stumped. It's hard to see anything in that mess.
Yeah, not much of a first day for you, is it? It's not like this all the time, you know.
Oh, it's not what they teach you at officer training.
Well, maybe that's what we need. How would the textbooks handle a situation like this?
When in doubt, lock them up. Get the prisoners in line and keep them there.
That's a theory Mr. Douglas would love chiselled on his grave, I'm sure. But violence breeds violence. Now, if we applied those principles, we'd end up with a riot situation.
And I believe we nearly had a riot in the shower block this morning.
Oh, really? Must have happened after we left.
Yes, well, I must get the women into lunch.
Well, well, look who's dropped in from Barnhurst.
They get 'em all, don't they?
Judy, Doreen, this is Mari Winter.
Hi. I saw you come in. You sure gave Conway a bit of a fright. Oh, just letting people know where they stand. So you're Judy. You're Doreen, is that right? I seem to remember you from somewhere.
Yeah, you were here when I first came into Wentworth about 7 years ago.
Oh, that'll be right.
You were top dog then.
Well, nothing's changed. Mari's been running Barnhurst. Why'd they shift you back?
Oh, there's a few theories floating around. I reckon it's because I was stirring too much. They wanted me out of their hair. Well, things haven't changed much around here. Still the same dump it always was.
Oh, not lately. Things have been real beaut. Got the screws jumping through hoops.
Oh, you must have found yourself a good boss. Who's top dog? Well, of course, I know Bea Smith. We met at Barnhurst, but you're on the grapevine. She's not too crash hot. So who took over?
I did.
Good.
Oh, Sandy's a natural. She really knows her stuff.
Yep. It's been real fun lately. Like I said, good. The last thing I want to do is cause any trouble.
You wanted to see me? Julie said it was urgent.
Yes, I've just had a call from the hospital. Apparently there is an accident victim there. The tissues are compatible and they want to try a kidney transplant on B.
So you want me to take her there now?
Yes, as fast as you can. It has to be done as soon as possible. The ambulance is on the way.
Right.
You owe me. Let's see. Hotel.
Winter, you're wanted in the governor's office.
I thought we discussed this. Something called respect, remember?
You heard Miss Conway move it.
But she's just logged on Park Lane. She owes me $1,500.
Come on, I haven't got all day. Are you in pain, Edwards?
No.
Then wipe that stupid look off your face.
Well, I don't mind Muscle Man here, but do I really need two of you?
Cut the back chat and walk.
Oh, very masterful. You should do very well.
They mean accident victim.
Does it matter? If it's a chance to save your life.
Of course it matters. It's all happening so quickly. What's that bitch doing here?
Settle down, Bea. It's an emergency. We've got to get Bea to hospital.
Yeah, she doesn't look too good, does she? Maybe it's something she ate.
Bitch! I said, everyone, why the answer? What the hell's she doing here?
Well, we don't like it any more than you. But right now, you've got other things to think about. So you're going to be back to your old self again after this operation. So if you've got anything to say, you save it till then.
Well, it's fine if I am all right. What if I'm not? Since when did I ever get lucky?
You're not to think like that. You're going to be all right.
No. There's one thing. It doesn't work out. Well, it's the last of this place.
he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face